Hello everyone. In this tutorial, I am trying to explaining about how to insert data in database using JDBC. So in last video, I already explained about how to establish connection between Java application and database. So I take example as a PostgreSQL. So if you did not watch that video, watch that video, then you will get clarity on how to establish connection between Java application and PostgreSQL database. Now in this video, I am trying to explaining about how to insert data. I mean saving data into database. So let me try to explain about that. So before that, let me explain some important concept like database server versus table. So database server versus database versus table. So database server have number of databases. So we need to understand this concept. So imagine this is the database server. So DB server. So inside the database server, we have number of databases. Imagine this is one of the DB inside that database server. So inside that database, we have tables. So this is the one important point you need to remember. So this is the database server, database, and this is the table. So inside database server, not only one database, more than one database also will be there. Not only one table, n number of tables will be there inside database. So this is about relation between database server, database and database table. So now let me try to explain how to insert the data in database table. So at the time of connecting, establishing connection, we need to specify URL, right? Corresponding database server. So along with that URL, we need to specify the database name also. So once the connection is established, then we need to write one SQL query. By using that SQL query, we can insert the data in database corresponding table. So Java, database does not understand as Java directly. Let me try to explain that one as well. So imagine this is the database. So database understand only SQL language. By using JDBC, so this is Java app. So we can write the code in Java language. So but database does not understand Java. So by using SQL language, we can communicate with database. So we can write this SQL query in the form of string. Then we can pass to corresponding JDBC. JDBC, we have methods, right? Execute, update, these methods, right? We need to pass that corresponding SQL query. Then it will execute. Data will be inserted into database. So for inserting data in database, saving purpose, we have SQL command like insert. So syntax will be insert into table. So corresponding columns we need to specify column 1, column 2, column 3 like this. Next values. What are the values you are trying to provide? So column 1 value, column 2 value, column 3 value, like this we need to specify. So this is the syntax about SQL query to insert data into database. Now let me try to explain that in JDBC. So before that, there must be a table exist inside your database. Otherwise, it won't create, JDBC won't create a database. If you are using JPA, JP will create database. But when you are working with plain JDBC, it won't create any database table. So first you need to create manually. Then you can insert the data into database table. So I already installed PostgreSQL server on my machine. If you did not install that server. I already make video on that. If you did not install, watch that video and install the PostgreSQL database server. So let me launch a PgAdmin. So PgAdmin 4, let me try to launch it. So if we did not install that PostgreSQL, then PgAdmin automatically will come. So PgAdmin is nothing but an interaction tool for interacting with the database. If we can observe here, this is my PostgreSQL database server. So inside this, I have number of databases. Let me try to show you that. So I have two databases, right? So database, you can expand that databases tab. So TestDB and Postgres, like this n number of databases also will be there. So server is one. So inside this TestDB I have tables. So right now I don't have any table here. You can search under schemas public here. If we can refresh it, I don't have any table, right? Even though I can expand. So first we need to create a table, then only we can insert data in database, otherwise it is not possible, right? So before writing insert a statement in JDBC, let me try to create a table first. So right click on tables, query tool, then you can write your query, I mean creating table. So we have command like to create a table. So create table, table name, I'm trying to take table name is customer. So here first we need to specify the column name CID. I'm trying to take data type is serial. So serial is nothing but auto increment. So when you are trying to insert the record, it will keep on increasing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that. We can't, I mean, we don't need to increment that value. So serial, I am trying to provide constraint. Column constraint is primary key. So primary key. So first we need to specify column name, data type, column constraint. So second column name is I am trying to provide customer name, data type is varchar, of length will be 20 and constraints will be not null. So next one, I mean column name is email varchar of 20. So 20 will be length of that corresponding value when I are trying to insert. So I am trying to provide email is unique. So I don't want maintain duplicate email IDs. So in that case, we can provide constraint like unique. So unique and not null. Two constraints I am trying to provide with space. So next one is password. So these are the four attributes I am trying to consider. So varchar again I am trying to take. So varchar of 20. So I am trying to take not null. Constraint column constraint is not null. So this is about, I mean, syntax and example for creating table. Create table, table name, column name, data type, column constraints, and number of columns. Not only 20. Depending on our requirement, you can increase that or decrease 10, 25 like that. So let me try to execute this. So you can observe here query is executed successfully. Now if we can refresh these tables, expanded. So I mean I have one table called customer. So if I can apply command like fetching data, I mean select query, select start from table name, that is customer. So if I can execute this now, so I mean table don't have any data. Now let me try to insert data in this table by using JDBC. So here I already created one file, JDBC insert example. So here first we need to make connection, right? For that three properties are required. I mean here I already make that code, right? Let me try to copy this and paste here. Now URL is required, username is required, password is required. This is about, I mean, getting the connection from database. Once the connection is established, we need to get the statements, I mean create statement. By using this statement only we can communicate with database by using SQL query. So here I can move that statement to above this out statement. Now once I have statement, so first I need to create one query in the form of I mean string. So here I can write query. So the query will be insert into table name. Just now we created customer, right? Customer. So what are the, I mean, properties, I mean column names we need to specify. So column names means we have, I mean customer ID is not required. It will increment automatically, right? That's why we kept data type is serial. So from name onwards we can specify. So customer name, comma, customer email, comma, customer password. So these are the three columns we need to take care about. First one, it will already, the database it will take care. So why? Because we make that data type is serial. So values. So what are the values you are trying to provide? So values mean customer name. I am trying to provide name is. So of course here I'm not encrypting the password. Just I'm trying to save plain text password as well. If you are trying to use in real time projects, we need to encrypt. So I'm trying to provide name. Email is some dummy mail. So next one is password is I'm trying to provide some dummy password. Now pass this query to statement, one of the method present inside statement. So statement dot execute. So this one I am trying to use execute string parameter. So query. So once it is executed properly, it will return. True or false. If you won't get any errors, it will return true. Otherwise, it will get false. So let me try to write one sysout statement about that. If it is really executed, now depending on that boolean flag, so I can write one sysout. Something message called saved. Can say so customer data saved, something like that. Now let me try to execute it. So connection established, but the message customer data saved is not printed. So I didn't get any exception, right? Let me try to check in database the data is inserted or not, whatever data here we are trying to provide. So if we can observe here, so let me try to execute select statement. Yeah, data is inserted. So why the message is not printed here? So let me try to observe the execute method. So if we can observe that return type is boolean and returns true if the first result is a result set. If it is a result set, return type is a result set, so it will return true. Otherwise, it will return false. If there is no data, or it may be update count, or there is no results. So what it is saying, so this execute query, execute method is same for inserting query and select query. So for select query, if the data is there, result set is there, it will return true. Otherwise, it will return false. So for there is no response, right? Once the data is inserted here, there is no result set. So that's why we got it. Response is false. So the data is inserted, but there is no result set, right? That's why it is not. It is returning false. With that false statement is not printed. So in that case, we can remove this if statement. So let me try to run with one more record. Some random password. Let me try to execute this. This is not required now. Now customer data saved, message I got. Let me try to check in database one more time. I am trying to execute. So ID1, ID2, second user also, second customer also saved. So this is about inserting data into database. So of course, if we can observe here, we did some mistake. Not mistake. This is not good programming practice. Why? Because here you are trying to getting the connection. Connection got opened, but you are not trying to close this. So this is not good programming practice. So to make good programming practice, so we need to move this connection statement with try with resource. So this is good programming practice. So if we did not use try with resource, you can write finally statement. Inside that finally statement, whatever connection you opened, you can close that in connection inside that finally block. So if I can run one more user with some different password, so I won't get. It won't affect. Let me try to run. So customer data saved. So we are expecting third record. So third record is saved. So this is the best programming practice with try with resource. So one more thing we need to observe here, statement is not recommended. Why? Because by using this statement there may be a chance of getting SQL injection. So moreover that here I am trying to make the values as a hard coded, right? So in real time data is coming from UI. So let me try to explain about that SQL injection concept. So that's why statement is not recommended. So email is coming from UI. So anyway this one also I am trying to enter here, something like this. So normal people will enter email like this. What hackers will do, I mean, instead of this email ID they will insert some script also, like this. So drop table customer, some script they will insert. So what this statement will think, so this is the, I mean it won't think this is the value. So but it will be a script internally. So the scripts also will execute along with the insert statement. So in that case data will be deleted. There may be a chance of, I mean this is not expected scenario, right? So once the data will be lost, I mean drop means it will remove everything, right? So in that case, so there may be a loss to any every organization, right? So in that case this is called SQL injection. So in that case prepared statement is recommended instead of statement. So the value is like this, how it will inject, let me try to replace this hard coded value with, so here I can pass that email. So we need to wrap with single quote, right? So like this it will treat internally like value only, but internally it will execute a script along that value whatever entered on text field. Of course validations will be there, special characters are not allowed, and this kind of any extra I mean characters and spaces, so we need to trim. But anyway imagine all that I mean validations got passed somewhat, I mean hackers will do like that only, right? So data come here, it will execute along with the insert query, data will be deleted. So this is not good programming practice. So instead of that prepared statement is required. So by using prepared statement, using methods we can set the data. So in that case that methods won't I mean treat like this is a statement, the exact value they can treat like a, I mean whatever data entered from UI, same it will treat as a string value, it will insert into corresponding column, it won't execute. So that is the advantage of prepared statement. So let me try to, I mean replace with the statement with prepared statement. So here instead of create statement I am trying to use prepared statement. So prepared statement with SQL query. So now we need to move this statement little bit below, I mean after the query, or else you can write the query about to statement. So now we need to change this statement to prepared statement. So here it is not a password, here it is SQL query. So if I can assign, I am getting prepared statement. Now it is a prepared statement, not normal statement. So now let me try to run with valid scenario. So now we need to update the query. So instead of this, we need to pass all positional parameters. So here first one is email. I mean first one is username, next one is email, next one is password. These are the parameters coming from UI. So customer name, something like I'm trying to enter. So email, and password, something like that, any some special characters I'm trying to enter here. So here, yeah, here it is duplicate variable name, right? That's why it is giving compilation error. So these values we need to set to this corresponding query here. So now there is no chance of getting SQL injection. Why? Because manually we are setting the data. In that case it won't treat like a statement, it will treat like a value for that corresponding methods. So for that, how we can set p prepared statement reference dot corresponding data type. So all those are strings, right? Set string, we have method called set string. So parameter index and string parameter. So if you can observe the documentation, so parameters, first parameter is here we need to remember 1 point. So in arrays index is starting from 0, but in prepared statement here they are specifying, right, parameter index is starting from 1. First parameter is 1, second parameter is 2. So here in this case I am passing one parameter. 1 is name. So let me try to copy it. So second parameter is email. Third parameter is password. C password. So now okay. So I think instead of execute, so inside prepared statement also we have execute method SQL. So anyway it is from statement parent class is prepared statement. I think statement. Let me try to open documentation about prepared statement. Yeah, it is extend statement, right? Anyway that execute method exists inside statement. That's why I am not getting any compilation error. Now let me try to run. So can't use query methods, take query string as a prepared statement. So here the issue is, I think we can't use, can't use query methods that take query string as prepared statement. So instead of this query, so here anyway we are already passing here query, right? So this is not good programming practice. So just we can call that method, so whatever it may be, execute or execute update. So without parameter, execute update, yeah, this one. So execute with parameter, query parameter is that is from statement, right? So anyway here we are already passing query. So why we need to create, pass again? So that is invalid scenario, this is valid scenario. Now let me try to run it. So connection established, customer data saved. Now by using prepared statement, I am trying to save the data in database. So one thing you need to remember, prepared statement positional parameter starts from 1, not from 0. So this is the one important point you need to remember. Now let me try to check the data in database. So if I can run the statement, so here if you can observe, fourth record is inserted. Just now I inserted on STS4, right? So with the customer name like Kiran, same data I got here. So this is about inserting data in database using insert command by using JDBC.